In the building. Oh my goodness. Excitement is in there. It's excitement there in Cowboy land, but just right here on this screen, it's super excitement because anytime you, the OGs, get together, it's just something special. Three brothers that just like talking ball, and we like talking ball with each other. We glad to have anybody that joins us, but we just like talking to each other. So we can't lose. It's almost like a back porch reunion.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We just here. Welcome to the Cowboys OG podcast. I'm big time listen, and of course, the OG podcast will not air unless you got all three of us together. We kind of made that commitment together, so we weren't able to come together with you guys last week. But that was last week. Guess what? We're here now.
Yes, sir.
And we're here and we're excited to come with you. I'm not alone, of course. Cowboys OG podcast would not be complete without Cowboy Joe in the building. Put your hands on it. Oh, ain't no doubt about that. You got to put your hands on it. It's like the 6-man world tag team champions. It's just that quick. We like the Von Erichs around here.
Von Erichs, wow.
And then, of course, if the glue not in the middle, we not airing. And y'all know by now, if y'all been watching us, y'all know who the glue is. He right there, B-Bird in the building.
What's up, people?
Just put your hands on it. Shoot. I'm wasting time introducing y'all, to be honest with you. Everybody know who we are by now. Welcome to everybody that's on those channels. Hit the like button as you come in. Hit that like button. Share it out. Do whatever you got to do to make it happen. And we would appreciate you guys sharing this out to Cowboy groups, Cowboy haters, whoever it is. We want everybody to come on in. Well, you're going to get the truth here. It's just the bottom line. You're going to get the truth here. B-Bird, before we turn it over to Joe, just say what's up to the people that's in the building.
Hey, what's up, people? We missed y'all last week, man. Hey, but guess what? We come back with twice the information and twice the energy we had we would have had last week. So we bringing it this week. So we ready to go, y'all.
That's right. Joe, say hello to the people and then kick this thing off, man.
What's up, people? Good to be with you guys on Friday night. Man, when you said the Von Erich, so I said, wait a minute, am I Fritz or David or I might be Fritz, but and that might even be before y'all time.
No, Lord, Fritz is. Now Fritz, he was retired when I started watching him. I was in 82, 83 when I started watching the Von Erichs. When it finally came on cable, put it that way, I was able to watch them. So I started with Von Erich by 82, 83.
Yeah, and what's weird is I passed by the Sportatorium a lot because I take my grandson to school. He had to drive by there. And but that took me way back. But yeah, man, glad to be back on with you guys, man. And so we're gonna just jump off the top rope Von Erich style.
Yes, sir.
And jump into this Crosby thing. So, man, I've gone back and forth. I've been listening to content creators, and this Max Crosby thing. I think where I'm kind of coming down on this thing is I'm probably going to be okay with the 2-1s if it comes to that. I do think they're trying to bluff Jerry, and Jerry always overpays. That's a concern, but this draft, guys, I've been looking at it, and when they start grading this draft, it might just be 10 number 1 picks in this draft. The rest of the draft is going to be 2s. So if you drafting at 10 or higher, you probably want to keep your picks in this draft. But if you drafting at 12, where we are in 20, man, this thing, I saw my draft where they got us taking Hood from Tennessee, one of the lower rated corners, and I think the other player was Falk, and they had another draft with what's the edge from A&M? Is it Bailey?
Yeah.
I actually like him a little better since I started watching him, but man, it's gonna be a tough one. So I probably will be okay with trading the 2-1s if they commit to doing what they got to do in free agency. But that's kind of where I am today. I've kind of gone back and forth on this. I want to get you guys' thoughts on it.
Say that one more time though, Joe. Where you stand on this thing?
I think I'm at this point, I'm kind of okay with trading the 2-1s if we have to, because I don't think this draft is going to break our way. Okay. I think we might have to just go with Crosby if we can do it. Now, the best scenario would be you trade 12 or 20, just one of your ones. That would be terrific if we could do that.
So,
go ahead, B-Bird.
Yeah, so let me just explain, and these two gentlemen know that I was been screaming Max Crosby before the trade deadline last year.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why, man, is because I remember, and this is an OG podcast, so we can go back here. The 90s defense was not the 90s defense until we got Charles Haley.
Yes, sir.
So they were a good defense, but they became a great defense because what he did. Now, it wasn't necessarily sacks, but that guy stayed around the quarterback. And I don't know when they start counting pressures, but from that day on, I said, wow, I can see the difference in our defense. When that guy got pressure on the outside, it made everything else better, man. And it was just we got him right before the year started, and that's the year we won a Super Bowl. Why? Because we had a good defense, but he took one player made that defense great. And I actually did a tweet this week and said, if they do the right things on his defense, otherwise, I'm talking about free agencies and draft picks, I say, Crosby could be Charles Haley. And I said that, and I didn't get much pushback on it, but I meant that because this guy has a motor. This guy, he has a drive for the game. He's just passionate, and he can get to the quarterback. That's what it is. So the thing is, I still think that we need to get him, but it is a price that's too high. But I can just tell y'all the thing I just saw on a report. I think 105.3. Somebody on there said that the offer was this year's first, a future second, and Osa, which is definitely doable for me, which I think would be the 12th pick overall. And the other thing, and I got this written down here, is that the other thing that came out was that in his contract, if they got to restructure that, will only cost $7 million this year. And what that's going to do is to get the Joneses into the mindset of, hey, that's kind of an all-in type mindset when you do that. They're not really used to that. They're not really used to defraying money like that. So if they do that, then it'll be a change for them. But I really want Max Crosby. I do not want to. It is a certain amount that we can give up that's too much to me. It is because you still have Trey Hendrickson out there, right? So yes. I mean, you have an option. You got a plan B. It's not A, but it's B. But again, one thing, and Boss was fighting with people today on this because a lot of people are under that kind of, hey, why get Crosby? You can get 3 players. Nah, man, we got to get out of that mode. We didn't got 3 average players before, and that has not worked. We need people. We need difference makers. We need a defensive end that's going to demand double teams. That's what we missed last year. If we wonder why our defensive ends, our kind of secondary defensive end couldn't get any pressure, that's because they was made to be number 1 defensive ends. And they wasn't made to, they're not set for that. They were made, that defense, if Ian Room was put together as if Michael Parsons was going to be there. And since he wasn't there, it made everybody else step up a notch. And they couldn't do it, man. So I really think Crosby would be a great addition to this team. That with some other free agency moves with linebacker and safety and a draft, I think they could turn this defense around in 1 year. If you don't think so, go look at New England. You don't think so, go look at Seattle. They were the base of their team came from the draft, but they made some timely, some wise free agent signings that got them to the Super Bowl.
Well, first things to me, first things first. For the first time, it's like I said before, I'm at OG style. I'm at wait and see. I'm not getting excited over nothing until I see breaking news come across my phone. Mm-hmm. However, I will say this. We're witnessing something that we ain't seen in so long that you got to give Jerry Jones some credit, whether it gets done or not. A lot of people going to charge Jerry if he don't get it done. Everybody knows that the Cowboys are, right there. Some say they got the best offer. Some say they got the top 2 offers or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to be mad if we don't get them because the price was too high. You understand? So what you as a fan have to determine, and I don't think it's a right and a wrong way. What I'm happy about, number one, is that this is a Super Bowl move. That's we don't really have these. And to hear that they really going for it, they know what their problem was. They know they needed pass rush. And they're going out to get one of the best in the whole world at doing this. So I applaud Jerry for that. Now, I will give up 12, but I don't want to give up 20. I will give up 12. There's no player that's going to be better at 12 than Max Crosby. Some might even argue and say there's not going to be a better player at 12 and 20 better than Max Crosby. That just depends on what your preference is. I think we can get the better of both worlds. I think you can get somebody like Crosby with 12. All the teams, as we was talking right before we came on, all the other teams that are talking do not have number 12. They're back in the draft. They have first round picks, but it's 12. The Raiders are picking number 1, no question. You know they're gonna get Fernando Mendoza, and then they'll come right back at to take the Cowboys pick, or at least if the Cowboys offer 12, they'll come back at 12 and pick. There's no better thing than that. I don't want to give up both picks. I don't want that. I want the best of both worlds. I want you to draft a kid at 20 that's going to be a real player that got a chance to play early, and you get Max Crosby there, and you can solidify. You can go whatever you want to go with. Cornerback, we definitely need another linebacker there. I think you can get the best of both worlds. And please, let's not forget, from what everybody's saying, the Cowboys are looking into Kobe Dean. And, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that we think that they're going to fill in the gap by draft, the Cowboys very well may be filling out these holes by free agency. And if that be the case, then there ain't no telling who we going to go pick, to be honest with you. The way it's falling. And just like Joe said something very important. The draft may not fall the way we think it is going to fall. And the cornerback, the Laney may be gone, Styles may be gone. You know what I'm saying? So you really don't know. And if you don't trade for Crosby, the real better scenario, no, y'all ain't gonna don't want to say it, is if you want that pass rusher, you keep both picks and go get Trey Hendrickson. You ain't have to give up nothing.
Yeah.
You didn't have to give up absolutely nothing. And Trey Hendrickson can play. It ain't no question about that. I'm satisfied with both. A lot of other people want to get back into for round 2. A lot of people want to get to round 3 because we don't have a pick there. That's fine, but we don't know really what the packaging that the Raiders gonna want back. See, if I'm trading both my picks away, you got to give me at least a second. I got to have a second or a third back. I got to have it, and I got to have that back. It's nowhere in the world my first draft pick gonna be in the 4th round.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. That's too steep of a price. You got to give me back at least my second or back. I mean, that's just the truth.
I want to ask you real quick. You can keep on going.
Go ahead.
So they said that the latest offer from the Cowboys was this year's first, a future second, and Osa. What do you feel about that?
I love it.
Yeah, I do too, man. Because you get rid of Osa's contract.
I'm hearing that people now talking about where does Osa fit.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that talk. So if it don't, please let's not act like it's a coincidence that we're hearing that now at the timing of the name Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden we wondering now, is Osa a fit? Before all this happened, everybody was saying, man, you got Williams, you got Clark, and you got Osa. Now all of a sudden, is Osa. You see, you can't take none of this for granted. I would love that. I would love if Osa, even if Osa was a fit, sometimes you got to pay the price to get this type of dude. And make no mistake about it, Crosby is a dude. And that's in all caps. He is a dude. He's one of the best in the world at doing this. But I don't want to pay the price. And if push come to shove, if you're not getting both of them, because if, like, I see you, Tyrone. I'm glad to have everybody, our brothers in there. Tyrone, I see you, man. I see you, JVB boy.
Yeah.
Even if Trey costs too much, because it is going to be a bidding war. Ain't no doubt about that, because there's going to be a lot of teams not going to trade. But hey, guess what? Plan C ain't too bad either. Go get me Chubb. You know what I'm saying? Go get me Phillips. You know, we good. I'm good with Phillips, Chubb. I mean, I don't want to reach for the tier 2 because if you got a chance to get the best, then you go get the best. I'm down with that, but it's not at the expense of this incredible advantage that we have. Our plan is not to be in this position again for the next few years.
That's right.
You ain't gonna get right if things go like we think it's gonna go. You're not gonna be drafting this high for the next few years. You're not gonna get this. You're not gonna get 2 picks in the first round no more. So we got to take full advantage of this situation, and all of this. The talk about Crosby, the talk about Trey Hendrickson, the talk about moving in the second round. The only reason why we're talking like this is because we're in a real good position in the draft right now. We're not gonna be here again. So we got to hit a home run, however which way we go with it. If you're not getting nobody, at least you got 2 picks in the first round. So I mean, I'm good, but if I got the chance to get Max Crosby, I'm not giving both of them up. That's me. Y'all in the chat say, hey, F them picks like y'all saying. If that's what you feel, so be it. I want to keep 20. It's going to cost you 12, but I want to keep 20. And then let's roll with it from there. And then let's go ahead and attack it. But I applaud Jerry and Steven. Because for the first time in a very long time, Max Crosby, no doubt, is a Super Bowl move. And I can't tell you the last time the Cowboys have actually made a Super Bowl move other than maybe Deion Sanders. Yeah. Deion Sanders was a Super Bowl move. If you're going against Max Crosby, at least that's telling me, hey, we going for it.
Yeah,
that's what that tells me.
Hey, before you go, Joe, I want to just point a stat out to y'all that I heard the other day. It was a little bit incredible for me. Y'all may have already known this, but Trey Hendrickson had a down year last year due to injuries. He had 4 sacks. Do you know that in 23 and 24, he had 17 and a half sacks both years? So, I mean, if he comes back and checks out healthy, I mean, you may get another, 15, 14, some sacks out of the guy. So everybody look at his last year. It was a down year. He's injured. He had that contract situation and all that kind of stuff. I mean, but, hey, he might be a little bit off of what Crosby is. You know what I'm saying? Crosby might be, A, he might be A minus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can go, Joe.
No, I was just going to agree with you guys. I think if we just give up one of the picks, that would be the best case scenario right there. And hopefully that's kind of where they are with it. We heard about Philly offering Jalen Carter. I did want to ask you guys too, because you probably did more of the research, B-Bird. So his age and his injuries. So, he's 29, and then I think he is coming off a surgery. So just kind of want to see where he is on that. But yeah, that's the best case scenario, guys. If you can keep 12, give away 12, keep 20, you can even trade back at 20 if you need to.
Yeah.
And pick up some more players there. So my concern with Jerry is that he kind of gets himself over a barrel. I do think he's still trying to clean up on aisle 2 with the way he handled the Micah thing. So I just feel like he shouldn't really feel like he's over a barrel. Just make a good trade. Don't overspend. Ty Church had a couple of good ideas I hadn't seen before, and you mentioned it big time. Maybe us getting back a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
That would be terrific as well, because this is the kind of draft. If you get extra picks, you throwing extra darts at the dartboard, you're probably gonna come out better. If you just kind of sitting there and you just got to make a decision on some of these players. There's some players in this draft that I'm not really feeling good about. The linebacker from Texas Tech, I like him.
Rodriguez,
he would be somebody that if you had to drop down and get him, and I do like the safety from Oregon, Thieneman.
Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, it's
his stock is rising for real.
Yeah, it
yeah.
is.
So I think you guys are right. Giving away one of the picks, and then just kind of see what you can do with this draft will be the way that I want to go. And just want to touch real quick on the Kobe Dean. So we liked him a lot coming out of when he got drafted in 22, and we actually in the second round we were kind of leaning towards him, and we took Sam Williams, but he's been injured a lot, and I think he will be somebody that you want to bring in. And then if he gets banged up, then you can just have Leofow play inside. They're talking about moving him to edge, which I think is kind of weird. So if you get into Kobe Dean, then Leofow will need to be ready to play, and the same with Overshawn. But Jalen Carter, I'm gonna say this about the Eagles. They're thinking about trading AJ Brown. It looks like they done had enough of Jalen Carter. If they trade AJ Brown and Jalen Carter, guys, even if they get Crosby, I don't think we got to do a lot to get ahead of the Eagles. That's just kind of the way I see it.
I think they, I said it before, but I think they're bluffing. I think that they see everybody's playing a little poker right about this time. And Philadelphia would know what this trade, if we were to get Crosby, they know what this would mean. It's going to be a real problem when you line up against the Cowboys if Crosby is there. And I just feel like they put in Carter as a bluff because they don't have what the Cowboys have. I'm not sure, but I don't know where Philly is picking in the first round. But it's definitely not above the Cowboys. So we have the attractive, the pick that's there. I'm saying 12 is going to be better than any other team that's in the race. And that is attractive. So I think they're just trying to up the ante for the Cowboys. Yeah. Say, hey, they're going to trade away a player, Carter, and they're going to give us their first, and they're going to give maybe a second and all that. I don't think Philly really... I don't really believe that. That's just me. Could be, but I guess the flip side would be they know the Cowboys are interested. They'll do anything to destroy the Cowboys' hopes. And this is something that Howard Roseman, it sounds like something he would do actually, as Philadelphia. But again, I want to applaud Jerry regardless, because these are the moves that the last few champions have done. This is what we've been begging for, and that's called stack the deck. If you tell me that I got a Crosby, a Quentin Williams, a Kenneth Clark on this line, and you can throw in whoever, he's a Raku who's questionable with his hip, or maybe you bring back Clowney, and we shore up the linebacker position slightly, slowly but surely, I'm just gonna say let's go play football. That's all. I'm ready to go. If you give, because can you imagine? I mean, y'all, I know y'all in the chat. I mean, we can battle about what strategy we want to use. But can you imagine offensive coordinators having nightmares dealing with that front line? Oh my God. Clark, Williams, and Crosby? Oh, it ain't too many better front lines. Just those three. I mean, then that, you're gonna have a real problem. Real quick. With that, that's how you flip things rather quickly. That's how you go from last place to the Super Bowl. That's how you go. This is what you do. I'm not saying Cowboys gonna go, but I'm gonna say we sure would be a better defense. If you give me Crosby and Quentin Williams on, who you gonna double team? I mean, good Lord, somebody gonna be free. So I mean, it is. I want it to happen. Bottom line, but I don't want it to happen that a team would gut us. I just don't want that to happen because, again, we're at a great position right now. Whether we trade or not, we're in a great position, and we need to just don't get greedy. That's all I'm saying.
So the Eagles are picking 23rd and 54, just FYI.
It's not attractive. That's why I say It's not a, you throw Jalen Carter in, okay, but drafting 23, that ain't kind of what the Raiders want. 12 is better than 23. That's a huge jump.
Well, then you look at what the Cowboys are offering. You say, okay, Jalen Carter is better than Osa, but I mean, Osa's a good player. Then you say, okay, then I'm getting a number 12 pick. You see what I'm saying? So our offer is actually better than theirs.
Yeah, that's why I say I think
about number 2. So our offer is better than theirs.
I don't believe Philly. I believe Philly just trying to up.
They might be trying. Philly might be just trying to run our price up. That's what it is. Yeah, run our price up.
That's what they're doing.
Our team.
Yeah.
Hey, so I was going to tell you about, because I think Cowboy Joe asked a little bit about Max Crosby injury. He had a meniscus injury. And just to let y'all know, man, I've had that twice. The second time I had it, the doctor wouldn't even let me get on a crutch. He said, "No, man, you just walk out on your own." You know what I'm saying? I was riding a bike in 2 or 3 days. So a meniscus is not a very serious injury, knee injury at all, man. So like I told you, it's insignificant that the guy told me, I got the surgery like on a Friday. He said, "Man, you go ride your bike on Monday." You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. Yeah. And so I was on my bike on Monday. So that, man. But I just want to add that, and I think
let's stay in that vein real quick.
Okay.
Let's stay in that vein, Joe. I'm gonna give it back, but since it's hot on my head and I know I'm gonna forget, everybody's playing poker right now, and so all of a sudden, the word about Caleb Downs came out.
Yeah.
Who put that out there? I mean, like, what team put that out there? Caleb Downs, for all of you guys that don't know, Caleb Downs played on these supposed injuries last year. And what was everybody saying? He's the best safety, generational safety, all that stuff. He's the best player in the draft, all of that. That's what everybody is saying. And now you put it out at the particular time. Whatever team put it out there, whatever team doctor put it out there, probably with hopes that he would drop. However, they threw a little caveat in there. They said a degenerative knee, ACL. Okay. What doctor said that? And is that the universal diagnosis for Caleb Downs? If that's the case, I want to ask y'all, if Caleb drops to 12, keep in mind, he played on this whatever last year. And one of them was a meniscus, which goes back to what B. Bird said. I mean, that ain't nothing. He played on it. Okay. Are y'all scared? If Caleb Downs is there at 12, and if we have the pick at 12, are y'all gonna believe the report and get scared? Because we all have said we tired of drafting injured players. Now, we've all said that. But this is Caleb Downs at 12.
We've had a player like that, and I cannot think of his name. What was that guard we drafted that had a degenerative knee? He played well for us.
It was Ron Leary.
Ron Leary played well.
Ron Leary, you didn't even know he was hurt.
So I am under the impression, this is my theory. If I draft a guy and he plays 4 good years for me and 5, and then something happens and his career is over with, but I've gotten quality play out of him for 5 years, that was a successful draft. I don't necessarily I do not have to. People think like, well, he ain't played for you for 10 years. That does not matter to me. All I want is 4 years or 5 years out of my first round draft pick. And if I get good play out of him that long, and hey, somebody signed him in free agency, hey, I still did well. That still is a good draft pick. And so I think that you take Caleb Downs because he's been playing with that. If that degenerative knee is going to take him out in 5 or 6 years, well, we've gotten everything we need out of him, right? And the meniscus surgery is not much anyway. We just talked about that. So I definitely take him at 12.
Where is Chicago? I put that up. Thank you, Jay. Where is Chicago draft?
Chicago, they just did a trade. Let me see. Man, I don't think they have a first round pick. So I'm looking at Tankathon. I don't see them. Unless I'm scrolling
It'd
past
be interesting to see what Chicago is drafting, because if they are the ones that put it out, then that would make kind of answer the little question, trying to drive it down. I'm saying everybody's saying
but they don't draft before us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't draft.
Kales, hey, I ain't know Kales in the bed. Well, I knew she was here. I'm sorry, Kales, I didn't see.
They said they got pick 25 and pick 60 via the Buffalo trade.
Okay,
so
that's not high enough. He'll go well before whether he injured or not. Kale say, okay, the LA Rams position team was the year's designated combine position. Where are the Rams drafted? Somebody look that up. That answer question.
They have 2 1s, but let me look.
The Rams do?
That's crazy.
Where are they at? Where are they at?
So y'all just kind of chat while I find it.
All teams will get every prospect medical evals, and it's public knowledge.
They pick 13.
I have the eval. So Kales is absolutely right. Every team is going to have their doctors look at the person, and you may have 9, 10 different evaluations. This one may say his knee is shot, and this one may say, oh, he's good to go. So it just really depends on where you're at. But it's amazing how this information comes out at this particular time, and it's also be able to see what the Rams are picking, since the Rams are the ones that did all this. Where they at?
So
13th, right?
they picking 13th, but they made a trade with Kansas City. They were picking 13th and 29th, but they traded their 1 to Kansas City for the cornerback. They just made a trade this week. So
they traded their 29th one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Rams are now at 13. I was going to tell you guys this. So I follow Tankathon. You know, a lot of these mock drafts, they're kind of like pro football focused. So from my watching Tankathon, the last 3 or 4 drafts, guys, they pretty much got it right. So check this out. So right now, they got the Commanders taking Caleb Downs.
Oh man.
So that what they do, they update it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So they got Caleb Downs going to the Commanders, and now us, the Cowboys, they got the Cowboys taking at 12 Jermod McCoy from Tennessee, the corner. He's coming off of ACL. And then at 20, they got us taking Thieneman. So that just gives you an idea of what you would get big time if you kept your picks. You're looking at McCoy. We like McCoy a lot. If he's healthy, he may be the best corner in the draft, but his ACL was a year ago. But yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like. So that gives you an idea of what's there. So you just say to yourself, you know, what you want to have: Jermod McCoy, the Tennessee corner, or Crosby. Okay, and then you got your 20th pick. Do you want to take Thieneman or do you want to trade down? That's kind of what you're looking at there.
Let me ask you, and let me ask the chat. Let's just play a little bit here. If we keep the pick at 12, and all of a sudden Downs is there, y'all drafting them?
I'm drafting.
That was so the other part of my answer to your question. I'm gonna answer your question with a question, but it's rhetorical. So my question is, what would the Ravens do? So let me tell you what the Ravens would do. So this happened in a few drafts ago. So Kyle Hamilton, the Notre Dame safety, he went to the combine, and they started coming up with all of this goofy stuff about Kyle Hamilton. He didn't run fast, and blah blah blah. So what did the Ravens do? They just sit there. They were drafting around 14th. They just let all of these teams pass on Kyle Hamilton, and they took him at 14. He's regarded as one of the best safeties, if not the best safety in the NFL right now. So to answer your question, I would take him at 12 because that's what the Ravens would do.
Yeah, and let's be honest with you. I'm in total agreement with who is this gentleman here?
I take down
Justy Strong.
is there.
Because a lot of teams ain't gonna believe this mess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if they don't believe it, then Downs is right where he was at the beginning of the draft.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna go early. If that is the case. If that is the case. If they don't believe the report, whatever, and I don't think a lot of people falling for it. I don't think so. But the idea, the old thing about taking the safety that high, that old line is still there. That old thing is there. I don't know if Downs will go high just because of that. It's rare when a safety goes that high in the draft. That part, I'm not saying that's not the case. Downs is special, but we just have to see. I just wanted to. The only reason I brought this is because when we started talking about Crosby and the meniscus, everybody talking about that. However, though, I'm glad that you said that, B-Bird. Thank you. Crosby has had surgeries, I believe, the last 6 years. Every year. So, but he's there. I'm not saying, I believe a lot of this stuff is cleanup stuff, not major stuff that's going to have him out, all that type of stuff. Crosby is, he's a machine. I want to throw that out there because a lot of us have said, and I'm one of them, I don't want to act like I haven't said it, I'm tired of the Cowboys going to get injured guys. But guys that just don't miss really a lot of games, Crosby is one of those dudes. Look, he's worth it. Somebody said Bain is going to drop to 12. I doubt that very seriously, but if he does, the Cowboys going to have a decision to make because Bain ain't no joke. I love him.
It depends on what they do in free agency with Bain, right? Yeah. Like if you get Crosby, then you don't necessarily need Bain, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. Or if your mind is made up, or B-Bird, or if your mind is made up that you're going to handle that pass rush with a free agent, regardless whether it's Crosby or whoever. And you could be thinking Chubb. You could be thinking Jalen Phillips or Reddick or somebody, anybody. If your mind say we need a veteran pass rusher, then you really ain't worried about Bain at all. I agree with you 100% on that. Go ahead, Joe, man. We done danced around. Go ahead and give us something.
No, y'all good. So in this mock draft, I'm looking at, they got Bain going fourth.
I believe that.
I don't think he's going to be there at 12.
No.
It looks like, based on what I'm looking at here, the Giants taking Sonny Styles, Commanders taking Downs. So in this situation, we're playing against Sonny Styles and Downs. But yeah, I think that's a tricky part of what's going to make these next few weeks really fun for us as Cowboy content creators, because, man, this is one of those years where, we got the extra picks, we got the trade possibilities, and we know that if they can just line this thing up right, the stars align, man, we could be right back in the mix. And I think I mentioned this on one of our earlier shows. Man, I honestly think we can, if we just make a couple of moves, we can beat Seattle. I think we play Seattle this year too.
Yeah, we play the whole NFC West.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we not that far off, but they gotta get it right. You can't miss. So that's why if I'm Jerry, I'm being kind of conservative. I like that scenario you gave us earlier. And then, with the picks, I just went through what we'd be looking at. The two players I looked at there, McNeil Warren, we've talked about him. Somebody put that in the chat.
Yeah.
So they'll all be good players. And I wanted to go back to something that you said earlier. Another thing they got to get right is Christian Parker has to convince them the safety position is important.
Yeah.
So he needs to change that culture. We always talk about the Cowboys culture big time.
Yeah.
Part of our culture is that we don't think that safety and linebacker is an important position. And Christian Parker has to change that. He got to come in and just let them know, you guys hired me. I want to cook, but I'm not doing it without good safety and linebacker play. So hopefully he can just change the culture on what they do. And I know Kels is in there somewhere. I'd like to get her feedback on what's going on with them with linebacker and safety. Hopefully Christian Parker can change that. He'll have a couple of ways he can do that in this upcoming draft and free agency.
So they did struggle with the defensive tackle position until last year, man, because they really wasn't big on defensive tackle as far as valuing those guys. But up the middle is where they did not value, right? Like you look at linebacker, defensive tackle, and safety. Cornerbacks, they've always valued those guys, but they didn't with the three positions I was talking about. But one thing I wanted to say, man, I was going to say, I know we didn't talk about the combine much, but Man, Thieneman, man, that was impressive 40 he ran, man. He made himself some money that day, man. So I looked at him and I went and looked at, some of, I'm not going to say film. I looked at his highlights or whatever. And he's an impressive player, man. So if we end up with him at 20, man, that would be a good get for me. Depends on what else we do.
Let's get the chat involved. Chat, I need your help because we got some very smart people in this chat here. I wish I could have about 19 boxes up here where I can just throw all y'all in, but y'all ain't no OG. Some of y'all too young, so I can't put y'all in the show. But there's some serious people in here that know football because y'all know it. I think we got to be real careful if we want this defense to be what we, kind of want to lean toward. We know we need help, but the way that we address it is going to be key. For instance, when you say linebackers, then this is what do y'all want a veteran or do y'all want rookies? So I'm thinking Sonny Styles, even though I don't know if he'll be there or not, but if Sonny Styles is there, a lot of y'all will want him, but he'll be a rookie. Or do you want Nakobe Dean, a veteran? You see what I'm saying? So somebody that already know what to do, somebody that already knows the system, rather than having a great athlete, a young guy that can play on a rookie contract. Do you want that? If you're talking about defensive end, if Bain, I'm just throwing, I don't think he'll be there, but I'm just saying if Bain is there, do you rather have Bain, a rookie, or would you want a proven guy? And I ain't even talking Crosby. I'm not even talking Trey Hendrickson. I'm talking about somebody like Nick Chubb. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can go get you 9, 10 sacks rather than going through another year of a Donovan Izaraku who dominated in college and then came and only gave us, 4 sacks? Or whatever he gave us.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so in certain positions, even in the cornerback room, even though probably the 2 starters would be Ravel, who's young, and then Bland, but if you want corner, I heard somebody talk about McCoy earlier. You want Ravel, McCoy, and Bland? Or would you rather have a vet at corner? I'm just saying we got to be careful. I know we got a chance, to do something here. And I'm seeing some answers now because it's kind of, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of split. You got to watch where you stick them at. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So the answer to your question is, do we want a rookie or do we want a vet? My answer to that is yes.
You want what?
Both. Okay. So yeah. I've been saying draft one and sign one since the offseason started. So if you get Caleb Downs, that don't mean you don't get Minka Fitzpatrick, right?
Yeah.
If you get Sonny Styles, that don't mean you don't get Nakobe Dean. Because what's going to happen is you got the stability of the veteran because you know what he's going to be, but also the veteran can teach the rookie some things, right? If you get a Minka and you get a Caleb Down, Caleb got all the physical traits and he's a talented, but it's some things that Minka could teach him while Minka's still an effective player. Same thing with Nakobe Dean and Sonny Styles, man. So I think I've been saying this: draft one and sign one. That's my theory in the offseason. That's why. Okay, so I'm going to thing here. So I don't like people that overemphasize the draft, right? And what I mean by that is this. Let me get it, because we got people that's good on the draft. But we have people that before the 2026 draft, they're already looking at the 2027 draft. Dude, the game still got to be played. Or, they're so draft heavy that they don't even, like, the season start, and they don't even watch the season anymore. They're back on the draft again. So to me, I don't like, because they put too much weight on the draft. They got a lot of different ways to build a team, and that's through the draft, that's through free agency, and that's through trade. The good teams use all three of those things, man, not just one or two. You got to use all three of them. The free agency and a trade is to make up for injuries or places that you've missed. Like if you missed on a defensive tackle like we did with Mozzie, That's why you go say, hey man, we missed on this. You got to say it and then go get it in either trade or go get a free agent to fill that gap. You can't just draft your way into a championship.
No.
The reason why you can't do it is because all these draft picks are not going to be on your team at the same time.
No.
So you draft somebody in 2020, by the time 2027 come, they gone. So
some of these guys they're gonna draft not gonna be on the practice squad.
Yeah, but the thing is, to line everything up, the draft picks can't be the only way you do it. So you got to look and say, okay, we've drafted good in these areas. We set the foundation of our team. Where are we lacking at? We're lacking at corner. We're lacking at safety. I'm just throwing it out. Let's go get the safety. Let's go get the corner and solidify the team. That's why you got to use all three forms of player acquisition. The Cowboys have been better at the trade. Way better trade than been at free agency. I've told people, if you really look at them historically in the last 5 or 6 years, they've made more splashes doing a trade than they have in free agency. Think about that. They got the wide receiver, his name escapes me right now, from the Raiders, number 19. What's his name?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Wide receiver from the Raiders.
From last year?
No. From when we made that trade a few years ago.
Amari Cooper?
Yeah, we got Amari Cooper. That's via the trade. Then we got Clark. That was via the trade. Williams. That's via the trade. We got a lot of. Then we got Pickens via the trade. If you start looking at the biggest moves we made over the last 5 or 6 years, they've been trades, man. They haven't been free agency moves. So we've been doing better at the trade position, but the free agency is where we suffered at. And again, I'm going to quote you, big time. Now's the time for the Jones to tell us they really changed their ways, because this is the moment. This is it right here.
And whoever sitting in for is, he said because they don't spend money, and that is the truth. Yeah, and this is the time we have to do it. Yes. Let me highlight this, Joe. I'm sorry, man.
No, you good.
Because as we all know from shows past, our brother Kid Cowboy is in the building.
Oh man, he's back.
The hater himself, the Cowboy. Look, he's a Cowboy fan, but he's a Cowboy hater. The Cowboys can do absolutely nothing wrong. But this comment is kind of ties into what we're talking about. So I want to throw another scenario for the chat and you guys. He is right technically by saying the coaching staff has absolutely no experience. And I think he's talking pretty much from a defensive position. So based off that, and since automatically Christian Parker, because of the team that he's going to be coordinating next year, is in the fish grease. He can't escape it. It's going to be hot. And he's already got a lot of pressure because everybody's saying he's got a great mind and all this and all that. And they say he's a great teacher. So let me throw this to the chat. Does it make sense then for Christian Parker to jump ahead of the line a little bit by bringing in his guys? So I'm talking about Nakobe Dean and Blankenship, the safety. Does that make sense? Well, I know we keep talking about Downs and Thielemann and the other kid that we were talking about. These guys are rookies, but doesn't it make sense to bring in a guy that knows the system right from the start and who can still play? I mean, I'm saying Blankenship can play. It ain't no question about that. I'm not saying he's Downs. But I'm saying this. And this is gonna sound real crazy, but based off of years' experience and based off of playing in big games and playing playoff games, Downs is not Blankenship. Hello, I'm just saying. At the safety position, and you saying we all know what he says, what he wants from a safety. Well, we play Blankenship. We know Blankenship can play. I just want to see, do y'all feel like it would be smart for him to go in? And again, it doesn't kill what B. Bird said. You still can draft. But doesn't it make sense to bring in a Blankenship and a Dean, guys that can, already know what to do, knows the system or whatever the case may be. What y'all feel about that?
Well, no, Cowboy Joe, you ain't been in a while. Go.
No, you're good. So yeah, I think the answer is both. You're gonna bring in some guys that you're comfortable with, and you want to draft as well, and you have to do both. And I just think that I think the Cowboys, to me, in the last few years, they haven't had good drafts. They really haven't done a good job in free agency. So this year they have to do both to answer your question, B Bird. So Nakobe Dean, if he can stay healthy, he can be your green dot guy. It's going to help Christian Parker a lot. So the question is he going to be able to stay on the field? He plays really aggressive brand of football. So, he doesn't really leave a whole lot on the field. He plays hard. So he's a guy that you want to look at. They tried that last year with Kenneth Murray. It didn't work out. But, Nakobe Dean, I'll probably say at this point in his career, he's a better player. And then the same thing as safety. It would be brilliant if they can sign Mika Fitzpatrick and then draft a safety. That would be terrific because you're going to have a mixture of both. So I think that's kind of that would be the best way to go here. Kel said CP did his big one and got Brandon Jordan into the field. I'm not sure who that is.
Brandon Jordan is a specialist. Yeah. D-line coach, known, all respected highly.
Okay.
Who can really get, a lot of guys vouch for him from the D-line position. Big time addition to the coaching staff. Yeah, I think he's a consultant type. They do whatever.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job of hiring the coaches. On paper, we gotta see what they're going to be doing. But yeah, this is the year that Will McClay, the scouting team, and then Christian Parker, and look, I think the way this draft is falling, I think it's going to be a defensive draft. I'll be shocked if they take an offensive player. It just doesn't really look like a good offensive player will be there when we draft. But yeah, this is probably the biggest offseason that they had in a while, and they got to get it right. So it needs to be veterans, and you bring in your draft choices, and that's what the good teams do. Look, that's what Jimmy did back in the day. And some of the better teams, and honestly, one of the teams that does a good job with that is the Eagles. They always have a good mix of veterans and rookies, and they do a good job with it. So I think that is the way to go.
Yeah.
So one thing I remember when Bill Parcells took over, what he did was bring in some older guys. They were kind of a little bit past their primes, but what he did, he brought them in at different levels, like an offensive lineman, a running back, linebacker or something like that. And so I was kind of curious on. I said, well, these guys, I know he knows them, but they kind of past their time. But what it relayed to me was the fact that, okay, so what happens in that situation is that after the coach tells them what he wants, because they don't know, because they, he's a new coach. Well, the players like Nakobe Dean or Reed Blankenship can say, no, this is what he's looking for. You see what I'm saying? He can go and tell them when the coach goes out the room, no, this is what he's looking for in this defense. This is what he wants. And so it's almost like a go-between coach or a messenger. That's why he brought him in. So I could definitely see what you're talking about big time when you say, hey, these guys know the system already and this, that, and other, because that can advance the knowledge of the players if you bring in somebody that's played in the system before. So I definitely do see a upside to that, man. So,
essentially coaches on the field.
Yeah. The veterans, I was talking about bringing in Mika Fitzpatrick, but Blankenship might have as much value, must have the same amount of value because he knows the defense well, and he also can articulate well to the players on what the coach actually wants.
Exactly. I think that's all I'm saying. I know we want to draft the young guys that we've seen at the combine and all that type of stuff, but the defense, if you really want this defense to really be solid, at some spots, B-Bird again is right. You draft both for the, but I don't think that in some positions we don't need to be leaning on these young guys initially to get the job done. I just they always remember, they're still rookies. And I done seen many a rookie get their tail toed cat raggedy, if y'all let me say it. I've seen cornerbacks get destroyed. Everybody is not an all-pro like Michael Parsons was in his rookie year. It rarely happens. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not a Pro Bowl player as a rookie. There are some rookies that get ate alive. This is not Boston College no more. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that we need to, in some areas, I think some areas, if you really want to get the maximum of the defense of what you got, you need to plug some veterans in. It's kind of like the edge. I need a guy that defense offensive coordinators are going to be scared of. On the edge there. I don't want. Even though I love Bane, but I don't know how Bane. I see his mentality, the way he plays in Miami, but that's at Miami. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna look like in the pros. There's been many of great edge rushers that were all Americans, and then all of a sudden they get in the league and they're not that guy. And I'm not saying Bane is gonna be that guy, not gonna be that guy. It just I don't know. I know what Trey Hendrickson is. Yeah. I know what Max Crosby is. You see what I'm saying? I know. I ain't got to question that. Mm-hmm. And if we want to make the defense be special, we don't, Pete Rose, Pete Rose not in the Hall of Fame, but he should be. Pete Rose was the hit king. You can double your way to the Hall of Fame. You can hit a bunch of singles and triples, but there are some guys like Barry Bonds and Babe Ruth and stuff like that hit the ball 700 feet, and they're in the Hall of Fame. What I'm saying is the Cowboys need this right here, this situation, this offseason, we need to be swinging for the fences. I don't want no singles and doubles. Yeah. I don't want no batting average guy. He batting 345. I don't care nothing about that. I'm looking for the guy that hit 50 home runs.
Yeah.
And so at some positions, we need home runs. Edge, I need a guy that's hitting 50 home runs. Corner, depending on where you're putting them, that we can argue about that. Safety. I love the athleticism, Thielemann. I love it. I'm saying draft him if he's there, but I still need veteran leadership there. That's what I'm looking for. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So I think on the safety spot, we probably got to look at this. I think I'm not a Malik Hooker guy. I think we've seen enough. Definitely. I think you're going to save $7 to $8 million if you release him. So, and then Donovan Wilson is a free agent. So I think what you saying, big time, I think realistically, to me, you could have Mika Fitzpatrick, you could have Thielemann or McNeil Warren, and you could have Blankenship. I think that's something that you could realistically do, and that's what they need to do.
There's a lot of people saying on what you're saying. There's a lot of people saying that we need to revamp the whole safety room anyway.
Oh, I do.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm saying that what you just said, Joe, actually fits, and I'm not saying no. You just named 4 guys. Don't know if that's they're gonna pay for it, but I'm saying it fits. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm hoping in Christian Parker's interview, that's what he told him. He said, "Look, I'm one of my things I need to get across to you guys is so what they do when they interview coaches, they ask the coaches to give their input on what they see when they play Dallas. Just look at our players. If I'm Christian Parker, and you can just be real open, frank with him, and he's that kind of guy. You've heard him speak. He had to tell them in a very nice way, what you got here in your safety room is not going to work in what I'm trying to do. If I'm going to be the coach, this is what we're going to need. We have to redo the safety room. Yeah. There's no question about it. So, and obviously you're going to make that kind of statement and give them a fair evaluation. If they don't hire you, they don't hire you. Now, I just think he's the kind of guy that they probably talk. I'm willing to bet everybody that they talk to, and they interviewed 9 people. They talked to 40 some people. They probably came in there and just told them, look, this part of your team right here, you're not gonna win with this. You're just not.
Bottom line.
So the safety position, I can't wait to get more information about what he thinks about that room, and then more importantly, we're gonna see what he thinks about it in the next few weeks, in the next month or so.
Well, to be honest with you, Joe, if he signs an outside free agent at the safety position, that's just one will tell you what he think.
Yeah,
just one will. Because if you get Blankenship is taking somebody's spot. He ain't coming in to ride no bench. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know Wilson is probably not going to be here. Donovan probably not going to be here. The jury's still out on Hooker, but Blankenship is kind of like a free. He can do both, actually. Blankenship can play both. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I gotta believe he said the same thing about the linebackers.
Same thing.
Yeah,
we know that ain't good.
It's a lot of rooms, man, where we could do better, and that safety room, man. Hooker must got pictures on somebody, man, for real. Because I don't understand. For real, I don't understand how he's still here, man.
Well, he's been hurt too.
Hey, but let me show you, man. We hit a milestone. I'm going to tell y'all about it.
Okay.
So we went over 1 hour, and this is us in the chat. Y'all, hats off to y'all too. Do you know we've been talking for over an hour? We haven't said the name Pickens yet.
Wow,
that's a good thing.
Hey, you thought about it. But I mean, if you gonna do that, then we might as well start something right here.
Now I was gonna bring this up to you guys.
Go ahead, Joe.
B-Bird, I'm glad you brought it up. So
What was that?
I saw something, and I gotta go do my research. I saw one of the legacy sports writers. It might have been Mike Fisher. I want to give him credit. So they said two things. They said one, this year at the Combine, Jerry brought some of the agents on board the bus just to have a meet and greet where he just got to know the agents better, and they just had your lunch or whatever the case may be. Right after that, Jerry came out and he made a comment about Mulugeta. He said Mulugeta is somebody that's distinguished. He's someone that should be respected. So that lets me know that somebody took the time to say, let's try to get to know this brother. You know, he's big in the business. And I looked this up. So Todd France is Dak's agent. He's also Brandon Aubrey's agent. So when I looked this up, so David Mulugeta, he's done like $1.75 billion of deals. Well, Todd France has done $1.35 billion worth of deals. They're in the same agency. Obviously, Mulugeta's a black guy. Todd France is white. So I said all that to say this. I wonder if Jerry's turning the page on this whole thing, you know, the way he handled David Mulugeta, got to know him a little bit better, and something might be working out. Big time, you shaking your head.
Well, before you go big time, I mean, do we know that Mulugeta was one of the people on the bus?
We don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, because
about.
he still said that he's never even met him.
There you go.
Well, he did say that he's someone that's distinguished, so he's making progress.
Well, at least he called his name this year.
Yeah, but
I ain't heard him call his name.
I thought I didn't hear him call his name on the bus either. To be honest with you, let me go ahead and just let me just say this. Just notice what happened.
I tried.
Nah, I mean it's good. Let's look at it. Jerry, every combine for years gets on that bus, and a lot of deals have been made over the years on that bus. All the GMs are there. Team representatives are there. Agents are there. And a lot of things get done there. Everybody knows that. The Cowboys not the only one. Everybody's there. They talk to each other. All right? He didn't talk to Dave Mulugeta with Parsons. He talked to Michael Parsons. That's what he said. He didn't talk to him at all. He knew who he was. I personally believe Jerry was trying to put David Mulugeta in his place. Forbes magazine names David Mulugeta number one agent, sports agent, as far as football goes. I think Jerry, just based off of Jerry talking about he only talk to the players, which is a lie. because you talk to every other agent. So why you ain't talk to David? You didn't talk to him at all, but you talked to Todd France. You talked to him. So why you didn't talk to David Mulligetta? Now that's Parsons' thing. Okay. This year, David Mulligetta was in Indianapolis. I know that for a fact. He was there. George Pickens. Everybody know the Pickens deal. Whatever. Okay. Jerry was there, but listen to what Jerry said. When Jerry said about the franchise tag, what did he say? I talked to George myself. Oh, okay. So last year you talked to Micah, and then this year you talked to George. My question is, when did you talk to David? You still ain't talked to David Mulligetta. Still ain't done it. You informed him, and I'm not saying it's not Jerry's right to call the player. I mean, you got the number and say, hey, we're going to franchise you. Why don't you tell the agent that? So we still got this stuff going. Me personally, this is me. I may be wrong. Listen, I believe there's something personal there with David Mulligetta. I believe it. Because you can't tell me that you got two high-profile players like Michael Parsons and George Pickens, and you ain't even talked to him yet. It's almost like you waiting on him. Who gonna make the first move? Who gonna call? All that. Nobody. You talking to every other agent? We just saying Todd France and David. You know, there's other agents there. I guarantee you. Who was Javonte Williams' agent? Who was that? Because they got done real quick. I guarantee you talk to that agent. You see what I'm saying? So we still playing these cat and mouse games, and I got a feeling that this is gonna go all the way to the end, because I believe, this is me again. Y'all don't have to believe. Nobody else have to agree with it. I think that there's something personal there with David Mulligetta and Jerry Jones, because he does not do no other agent like this.
Yeah.
He didn't do it with Dak, with Todd France. He didn't do it with whoever Javonte. Look, they got Javonte Williams done so quick. It was like, wow, dang, there ain't even no drama in that at all. I'm saying, like, who this is the only agent that I've heard him say, I mean, don't even pick up the phone. I mean, what kind of general manager is that? You know what I'm saying? So I whatever the reason why he hadn't done it, and I think this is going to be the problem, because we all know Mulligetta's, his resume. He's going to ask for the money. It's already put out there. He don't like his clients playing on franchise tags. That's already out there. So here we go again. So that's all I can say about this. Get ready.
So this will be for everybody, and this will be for Kales in the chat, because I can tell that she doesn't really necessarily like Mulligetta, right?
No, she don't like my friend.
But the thing about that is, and I've said this before, the guy's done nothing wrong, and I think she's pointed out that Higgins fired him. All agents lose clients. That's just what that is. That's just how it goes. But when the thing that, and Kale's gonna have her opinion, and then I can have mine. But here's the deal that's facts. Jerry Jones said he's never spoken to the guy.
Yeah, come on, man.
I mean, I'm sorry. When you say that you've never spoken to a player's agent and all that stuff that happened over last year with Michael Parsons is crazy.
No doubt.
And in no other GM in any sports can say that they didn't talk to a superstar player's agent and keep his job. And so that's ridiculous. And another thing about this, and that's why I always say this, and I'm going to stand on this. David Mulligetta did nothing wrong. And I'll still say this. If Jerry Jones went proper protocol and called Mulligetta and say, hey, let's come down and talk numbers, and he's going to go back and forth for a couple of 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they'd have got a deal done. But because he stepped out of protocol and he got his feelings hurt when the agent wanted to step in, now he don't even want to talk to the agent anymore. He's pissed off. So, that whole thing. And now let's go back to Pickens, right? So the thing about Pickens is that if you franchise tag him, the 27 point whatever $1 million goes straight against the cap. It hinders what you can actually do. So really, if you really want to try to do something here, you'll try to get a deal worked out for him, a long-term deal, so you can lower his cap hit, which will allow you to get more players. Now, so I don't understand why the conversation is not even ongoing. Well, this is not a conversation at all. That's crazy to me that you're not reaching out saying, hey, what do we have to do here? And then if the number's too high, then you can move him on, you can move on from him. I mean, if you say, hey, man, look, we can't pay this dude. So what we're going to try to do? Hey, the draft's coming up. Let's try to draft as many players as we can. Let's get the draft picks for him. But if you wait, you're not going to do that. And then another thing, so we said that Mulligetta is known for not like wanting his players to play up under the franchise tag. Name me an agent that does like their players to play up under the franchise tag. None of them do. They want their players to get long-term security, and also for them to get more money out the deal too. So it's not just about the players, but no, it's not just David Mulligetta. I don't want to just put that on him. No agent wants their players playing under franchise tag for the obvious reasons. If this guy gets hurt, it's going to lower his value. His value is hot as right now. So let's get all we can at this point in time. They're not going to want to play under that, and I don't know what's going to happen. It may be to a situation where Pickens going to be happy and play up under it, or it could be one way he says, "No, man," or it'd be disgruntled all year, or he doesn't show up.
So I want to make a couple of comments about David Mulligetta. So first, it's just interesting to me, guys, that, like I said, Todd France, he's not David Mulligetta, but he's in the ballpark. It's just weird to me that Todd France, he's getting huge deals for his players. Todd France, he was sending out some stuff last week. He's getting his players paid. I mean, huge deals. But for some reason, he just flies under the radar. Well, I kind of have an idea why. But he can pretty much call his shot. He can do whatever. He gets big deals for his players like he did with Dak, and big time. We didn't even talk about the Dak comments. But Todd France and Dak, they pretty much untouchable around here. But David Mulligetta, he better not just look the wrong way. We got I've seen this before. I think I mentioned this on one of our shows. So the NBA agent, and his name escapes me at the moment. I knew I was going to do that. What's his name? So it's he's basically the NBA David Mulligetta. What's the agent's name? He's LeBron's agent.
Rich Paul.
Rich Paul.
Oh yeah, Rich Paul.
So a few years back, the NBA owners, they went down this road with Rich Paul.
Yeah, I remember that.
Same thing we see with what's happening with David Mulligetta. They were saying all these things about him, and then somebody brought up Rich Paul doesn't have a college degree. Now that you got to have one to do what he's doing. And David has 2 degrees from University of Texas. So he checked off 2 of those boxes. But just keep an eye on what Todd France is doing and just see what's being said about Todd France. You just don't see the same thing happening with David Mulligetta. I have an idea why, big time.
Yeah. I mean, but Kale's just answered it for you. Now I probably like the thing again. And, some people get, rub people the wrong way. And to answer the question, France, they've worked with France before with other people. Other than Dak Prescott, Todd France represents other clients on the Cowboys as well. And they know, it's a relationship there, somewhat of a working relationship. Mulligetta may have rubbed the guy the wrong way. Whatever language that is, and like I said before, it could be very well that Jerry, what Jerry say, I could be sweet, or I could be, the other side of it. And maybe when it comes to Mulligetta, maybe it's the other side. Maybe he's got rubbed the wrong way. Go ahead, B-Bro.
I have to say that because I hated that comment when he said that. Because people it went right over people's head.
Yeah.
Name me a GM that can say that I could be sweet or I could be a
Be a butthole.
butthole.
Yeah.
No other GM. See, that's what I'm trying to tell people. I keep saying this all the time. Nobody else could do that but an owner / GM.
Yeah.
You can't. No, you can't be that way.
Yeah.
That's what the issue is. Well, I could be another way. That's why we 30 years out, partner. Because you want to be over there. You want to put your things up on the table. And this ain't how it works. That's not how you get deals done. That's not how you get players over here.
That's not professionalism.
That's not professionalism. You even say that. Well, I could do this. That's because you can't get fired. If you could get fired, you wouldn't be doing that stuff. And that's what I'm trying to tell people.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man. For him to say that. And Kels, I hear you. I know you got inside stuff on that. But I'm sorry. Until he says that I talked to that man. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to go here. The dude that was there protesting that black dude coming to school is the dude that's protesting his agent right now. I'm not going to take that dude's side. I'm sorry. You might have inside information on that, or somebody might have inside information on that, but I'm sorry. That dude treated that dude don't like that dude because he's a black dude up on top. He going to put him in this place. I'm sorry. I got to go there. That's what it is to me. And that's what it is. Why is he talking to our friends then? Why he have no problem talking to our friends? He went through a bad negotiation with Dak, but he talked to his agent. He never even talked to this dude. He won't say his name. It's disrespectful, man.
Yeah.
Don't people get that? That's disrespectful. The guy won't even mention the guy's name.
Yeah.
Guess what? He got so pissed off at him that he traded Michael Parsons. Why? To cut off his nose for his face, in spite of his face. That's dumb. He got emotional and made a decision. Yeah. That's an emotional decision. You cannot have your GM making emotional decisions. That's why he threw away a whole year, man. Yeah. 2025 was done when Michael Parsons was traded because the team was built up to have Michael Parsons being the force, the multiplier. He wasn't there anymore. You see what happened. Everybody else suffers. The cornerback suffer, the safety suffer, the pass rush suffer. Everything suffers because he wasn't there. Why? Because I showed him. Yeah. That's why we went in the playoffs. That's why we picking 12. Some of this stuff ain't. I mean, and I agree with Kels because she has inside information, but that doesn't mean that our opinion. That doesn't mean our opinions don't count. I still got my opinion. Now, if you give me information that says differently, I will change my mind. Facts, though.
One thing that can't be denied. One thing that cannot be denied.
We got breaking news from my son. He said Max Crosby been traded to the Ravens. Max Crosby.
Everybody look on their phone. Everybody look on the phone because if that be the case.
Now. Hey, I told you. I'm gonna look at this camera like
man, you brought Ali. You G stuff with the Ravens, man.
Everybody stop talking. Pay attention. I told you to watch the Ravens. Yep. Just do what they do. And B-Bird, you know who the Ravens don't have?
What's that?
Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And
I don't see nothing yet.
Let me see this. Let me say this. This is my son. He might be wrong. We don't know.
I'm looking at it right now.
Let me say this. Let me
Max Crosby to the Ravens for the 14th pick, which ain't too bad from 12, and additional compensation. So we don't know what that additional compensation is.
Wow.
So we know it's more than just the 14th pick. So that additional compensation probably was sweeted the deal, probably more than the Cowboys. So everybody let go of the Max Crosby train.
I told you.
For the first hour, just to get our first hour of the show.
I told you to watch the Ravens.
So you don't miss what you never had. So there it is. It's over with.
And so what I'm gonna say while we processing this, and I'm gonna say this about Jerry Jones. What he did last year, if you want to look up the definition of unprofessionalism, that's what he did. He defines it. The way he handled Micah, the situation with Micah, that was very unprofessional. He went on Fox News and said that David Mulugeta told him to shove the contract up his, you know what? David didn't say that.
No.
So
he came back and said he didn't say it.
You don't do that. But I'm gonna go one step further with Jerry. Well, we gotta remember, we keep forgetting about this 30-year thing. We always let this go by the wayside big time.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand what's been happening here for 30 years. They don't really understand what's happening. So I'm gonna say this right here. Jerry Jones originally was supposed to buy the San Diego Chargers.
Okay.
He was trying to buy the Chargers. The deal fell through. Just ask yourself this question. The last time the Chargers was in the Super Bowl was when they played the 49ers in 1995. They haven't been back since. Here's the question. If Jerry Jones had bought the San Diego Chargers, would the San Diego Chargers still be the Chargers 30 years later? They would be. It's a rhetorical question. So if he had bought the Chargers would be the Chargers. B-Bird, you know this name. Ross Perot Jr.
Yeah, Ross. Yeah.
So there's some talk about them trying to get back and buy the Mavericks back from the team that they sold it to. If Ross Perot Jr. had owned the Cowboys for the last 30 years, I believe the Cowboys would have been to a couple of Super Bowls. But Jerry's owned them. So you got a lot of different things you got to look at. There's been unprofessionalism. They haven't done a good job in the draft. They haven't done a good job with pro personnel. Teams like the Ravens, the Eagles, the 49ers, they've just been better in all phases of the operation. The draft, free agency. Look at what Seattle just did. So the lack of professionalism, I mean, I don't think you can just hang your hat on that, saying that about the agent or whatever the case may be. You got to look at what Jerry has done. And what he did last offseason, it really set the team back. And right now, what you're trying to do, you're trying to clean up on aisle 2. That's because right. You traded somebody. And I'm going to do you one better. The last thing I'm going to say is, there's been all this discussion about what the Cowboys would be if they had or had not traded Micah. The Cowboys could have got the deal done with Micah. When Patrick Surtain signed his deal, Micah should have been signed the following week. That was a year ago, maybe longer than that. The Cowboys could have Quentin Williams and Micah right now. You could have both. You could have kept Micah and you could have traded for Quentin Williams, and that would be your defensive line, and then you build from there. So it's not one or the other. So now we're gonna regroup because Jerry traded Micah.
Well, sweeten the deal. Baltimore gave the Raiders 2 first-round picks. That's what sealed it.
Oh wow!
So again, that goes back to our first hour. It goes back. We said we'll give them 1, but we don't need to give them 2. So Baltimore obviously is saying we trying to go for it all. Baltimore is there. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore's, some would say close.
Yeah, he's gonna be crazy on that defense, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna be crazy on that defense.
Yeah, so I'm just saying they feel like they going for it all. Yeah. Right there, and you add all when you going for it all you need is 1 piece. The Cowboys need more than 1 piece. So I'm going on record now because I know some of y'all in the chat, look, I'm cool as of now with it. And if anything, what you ought to be looking for now, if you just want a home run, now this Trey Hendrickson thing comes into play. I know it's a bidding war. I know whatever. But if I can get Trey Hendrickson and I still got my 2 first-round picks, that actually is a better deal than the Crosby deal. I don't care what y'all say.
And if you traded Michael Parsons, that's the deal.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Do y'all
depend on what the Cowboys are doing? I know they don't want to pay Trey Hendrickson no $35 million or something like that. I know they ain't gonna want to do it, but it's gonna be a bidding war. Somebody's gonna want to pay Trey.
The thing I think I was just getting ready to ask you, I feel like the price of Trey Henderson just went up.
It
did.
Yeah, and
because he's the number 1 guy on the market now, man.
Whoever was in this battle for Matt Crosby is now all gonna turn their head to Trey Hendrickson now. Yeah. And so it's just gonna be a bidding war. It's just that simple.
And if you're Jerry, you're over a barrel because of your lack of professionalism. You traded a generational player because for the most part, you approached this player and had a sidebar conversation with him about the most important contract of his life. It didn't go the way you wanted. All you had to do was just back up and let Steven, Kels, they could have got Kels and Adam Pacifica to do the deal. You get Micah signed, and Kels, you can trade for Quentin Williams. Right now, you would have Quentin Williams and Micah. So that's exactly what should have happened. But so now you're over a barrel, B-Bird. You gotta get another edge. And you're gonna be chasing that edge until you get one.
Yeah. So I think what you have, I think you really have Crosby being the A graded defensive end. I think you have Hendrickson being A-, but I think nobody else is on their level, right? Like what they could potentially bring to the team. So if Trey Hendrickson, I mean, where do you go after that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Now you're taking some chances and risk on some guys, hoping.
With the two Cadillacs, the two Cadillacs.
Good analogy.
Or Crosby and Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Now with tier 2, it's a Cadillac. It ain't no Rolls Royce. But now we're talking Chubb. We're talking Jaden Phillips.
Yeah.
We're talking Hassan Reddick. I mean, we're talking about guys who are proven in the league. I'm just saying there's some guys. And then, of course, guess what? Hey, I said, look, I'd rather have a veteran, but you still got some guys in the draft.
So guys, let me get this in real quick. And I talked to my son about this too, because my son, the Michael Parsons, the Luka trade, he gonna be down for the count for a while. I told him, I said, you gonna bounce back. You got a couple of rings anyway. But I was gonna say this: we have the prototype guys for building a team without Michael Parsons. We don't have Micah. We don't have to have Micah. So I'm gonna contradict myself. You don't have Micah, he ain't coming back, B-Bird.
Yeah.
Your prototype, big time, for turning your team around is Seattle and New England. They built a team without a Michael Parsons. They just got a couple of veterans. They signed Tank Lawrence. So, and New England signed Caleb Von Chason. So I said all that to say this. B-Bird, you ain't got to go far to look at what you need to do with the Cowboys. Just do what Seattle and New England did. They signed. I think New England spent more money than anybody in free agency, right?
$350 million worth of contract last offseason, and Seattle $250 million.
So your prototype is there. You just need to do what Seattle and New England did, and you'll be in good shape. And you can do that.
Yeah, and I think those teams pretty much hit on pretty much all of their free agents too. I mean, the guys that those teams, the guys they brought in, they were big contributors to their team, starters, and if not that, but they still was coming off the bench and doing great things. So it was great scouting by them on what their team needed. But you got to have an identity first, and then understand that this guy fits what we're trying to do. Hopefully on defense, with our new defensive coordinator, he has an identity, and he can see some guys that, hey, this guy is not that highly touted, but he can really do some things for us, and we're going to bring him in. So hopefully that does happen, man. But, that is kind of a big blow for us with Crosby, because I think we all kind of was hopeful, wishful for it. But I got to sit down and look at what they gave up, Baltimore did.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, when we look at what Baltimore gave up, you already know, because we just saw it in Twitter. I think Ian Rappaport said Baltimore gave up 2 first-rounders. You know it's more than that.
Yeah.
So once we look at the package, some of y'all gonna say, "Well, I would have done." No, you would. Some of us gonna say, "Okay, that's just too steep of a price," and I'm already on record saying, "Hey, it's too steep of a price. Hey, let's go. That's done with. Now focus your attention somewhere else. If you ain't gonna pay the money for Hendrickson, let's go to thing. I'm cool. If you want to go with the old man route and then draft or edge, I'm cool with that. So this is where Jadeveon Clowney comes back into play. Yeah. I know he too old, and Clowney was productive.
All he does is make plays.
Clowney make plays. Go get me a young edge, somebody you can develop behind it, and we still got our 2 first-round picks. We still could go draft young. We're not forcing this. Just be smart. Some of this stuff you just can't be greedy on. Baltimore is greedy because they feel like they're just a player away.
That's right. I was going to say that.
One player.
And their window with Jackson, man, it's not that big.
Hurt every year.
Yeah, and so what they figuring like, man, we're going to do this in the next couple of years. We're going to go for this thing.
Yeah,
and that's a go forward move too, right?
They got a brand new coaching staff. Harbaugh gone.
Yeah, that's a go forward move.
New coaches and new offensive coordinator and all that type of stuff. They feel like we got a shot. We got to get Crosby so we can go get Josh Allen. We got to go get Patrick Mahomes. And we talking about going to the Super Bowl. They feel like they're one player away. Yeah. The Cowboys cannot say they're one player away. We need players. And when you look at it that way, you may not feel as bad. That's all.
What I was trying to say is that I wouldn't be too critical of Baltimore. For one thing, they've always done well on player acquisitions, but they're in a different situation than we are. They're more advanced football team, a more complete football team than we are. And so what they may give up for them may be fair. You know what I'm saying? They might be like, okay, yeah, that's right for them. But for us, it may not be fair. It's not comparing apples to apples.
Yeah. I ain't got no problem with it. I salute the Jones. Don't get too greedy. I mean, if you would have got Crosby, I would have been saying, okay, that's fine. But I sure would have liked us to keep one of those first round picks. Because I mean and then I would have been saying like, okay, you gave up my 2 first rounders. Please let me know that I at least got a second or a third round back. Because if you take away my first 2, I'm not drafting until the 4th round. I can't have that. Not this off season. I got to have at least if I'm giving you my 2 first rounders, you got to give me back at least a second round pick. For this draft, I got to have that. And if you're not giving me that, then it would have been, we would have got them first 2 round picks for absolutely nothing. And you would have said, well, we got Crosby. That ain't enough.
So let me say this real quick, Joe, and I'll let you go. So suppose we get Hendrickson, but we keep our 2 first round draft picks.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
It's better than Crosby.
That's actually, I mean, you know, I love Crosby, but I mean, Hendrickson's, I mean, hey, look, A and an A minus is still a 4.0. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is like, if you can get Hendrickson and keep your 2 draft picks, that's outstanding, man. I mean, that's what we should be aiming for, like to go for him. And you know, the prices went up on him a little bit, but again, I think that might be a better option than giving up 2 first round draft picks and having Crosby.
I agree with it.
So we got to take a look at and see if this is going to make sense and if it'll work salary cap wise. The reality is that you might have a shot to get Hendrickson, Mika Fitzpatrick, Nakobe Dean, and your draft picks, because that's exactly what Seattle and New England did. So just regroup, reset. And Jerry should have already had somebody looking at what these other teams did this past year. The New Englands, the Seattles, San Fran was right back in it. So now just go back to your picks. And I'm gonna say one last thing about this draft. What I'm concerned about, they shouldn't force an edge big time. Don't put yourself in a position where you're saying we're gonna go into this draft with our first 2 picks and get an edge. When you do that, that's how you end up with Taco. So
I'm feeling
right. You're right.
So if the best player is Monson Delore with LSU, if it's McCoy, if you feel like you're good with McCoy, and then the second player is Thieneman, or if you want to draft C.J. Allen, a linebacker from Alabama, don't sit there. I don't know what you guys think about Messador, the edge from Miami. I think he's going to be a pick that I think you're forcing the pick right there. I don't think he's that good. So he is good. You like him?
Yes, it's just Bain got all the recognition, but I mean that dude there is the truth too.
Messador's age is the only thing that gets him, right?
Yeah, he's 25, 26 years old.
I think he's 24 maybe.
But my whole point is just don't get in your draft and just say no matter what we're going to take an edge.
No,
just take the best player, and if it's not an edge, just feel good with it. So now everything is on the table. You can still trade back, and this might be a draft where you just trade back and pick up some extra picks. So somebody put in the chat earlier, why do I think this is a do or die off season for Dallas? What makes this year different? But we haven't made it to a NFC Championship game in 30 years. So what are we gonna do? We got 3 more years. Why wouldn't this year be like a do or die season, off season for us. So what are we doing?
So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why I think it is, and I think so. I get on Jerry Jones about the Michael Parsons trade only because of the unprofessional way it was handled. Right. I want my front office to handle things in a professional manner, but arrogant, egotistical people, they don't want to be showed up. So what happens is his legacy is going to be attached to this Michael Parsons trade, and going forward. So he doesn't make the Quentin Williams trade again unless we were sucking at defense, right? And Michael Parsons was getting player of the month. It made him look bad. Jerry don't like to be made look bad. So Jerry is out right now, and it's going to be to our favor to prove that he was right on his Michael Parsons thing. He's taking this personal. But I like that, because when you take it personal, now you're going to go out there and not just keep the bat on your shoulder. You're going to actually swing the bat and try to go get some people. That's what has him like. This is not no epiphany that he got this offseason. What it is his ego, man, and his pride that's coming in, but it's forcing him to do some things that competition that's going to help us competitively. So I like that, man. So, at the end of the day, if whatever happens gets us players, if he has to go out, if his ego has him trying to win the Michael Parsons trade, then let it go, let it be, because that's what's going to make us better. So when people wonder why this offseason is different, that's why it's different.
And to be honest with you, I'll say this about Hendrickson, because I want him now, and I don't know if John want to pay the price, but I want him.
Yeah.
Because Hendrickson is just as scary as Crosby is.
Yeah.
If you put Hendrickson with this mix, who you gonna double team?
Yeah.
If you go single with Hendrickson, he gonna destroy you. If you go single with Quentin Williams, he gonna destroy you. Kenny Clark gonna make some plays. I mean, it's really, other than the age, it's still the truth. So the offensive coordinators will have nightmares if Trey Hendrickson is on this team. It's no question. So I'm down with it. I would love to see Crosby, but as I said at the beginning, depending on what the price was, and once we find out what Baltimore's ultimate price was, I'm quite sure a lot of you gonna say that's too much. So it is what it is.
So I'm
going to say in the chat, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to ask y'all this question, Terry Turner, because I asked my son the same question today. I texted him because Rashawn Gary got cut. So what do y'all think about him? And
love him.
What's with that? I don't know. Y'all heard any rumors about that?
Sean Gary is
who did he play for?
Is a problem. He's a problem.
What was that, Joe?
Who did he play for?
It's Green Bay.
Green Bay last year.
Being opposite Michael Parsons.
Okay.
I think he's from Michigan. Yeah.
He is from Michigan. I watched him most whole career. I love him. He's a problem on the field.
So why they cut him though? I don't understand it.
Money.
Wow.
Money. He's a great. I ain't say great player, but he's a real good player.
So one thing
I'm cool with that. I mean, I would love him on the team. That's a great little fit. If you know, depending on he can play 4-3 and he's quick enough to play 3-4 too. So he's that kind of guy. He can do either or. So I love Rashad Gary for whoever asked that question. I think it was Terry who said he'll be available soon. So that I'll take him in a hard flash. But it's not over, y'all, since Crosby gone. It's still
it's not over. No.
It's plenty of doors that could be open.
It's a lot.
So
actually, we got more things available to us since he's gone. To be honest with you, well, more options.
We do. One thing I was going to say real quick is, so one of the Houston Texans, one of their edge players signed a 1-year, $40 million deal yesterday. So I wonder if, that makes Trey's price go up as well. I can't think of the guy's name. He signed a 1-year, $40 million deal.
Yeah, I saw that. But Trey's price is going to go up regardless because he's the best probably free agent on the board, period, regardless of position. And especially at that position, a game record. He's that guy. So his price just went up. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And the question is who's gonna pay it, who's willing to pay it, and that's who we're gonna go for. At his age, he's gonna go on the biggest payday he can get because that's gonna probably be his final contract.
Yeah.
So you can't blame him. I think what is he? 33 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
That old. Let me see what he is.
32 or 33 years old. I think Trey is. He's going wherever the money is. So it is what it is.
So 31. He's 31.
He's 31 years old.
Yeah. He's 31. And what about the injuries?
Yeah, he had a. I read it earlier. He had a core injury and he had a surgery about.
I think he's on fresh legs. So he really.
Well, he should be. Yeah, he took all year off.
I mean, Seattle didn't want to play him. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
If they was in the playoffs, Trey Henderson would have probably played. But he's on fresh legs. Plenty of gas in the tank. And then it goes. I said he was 33. He's 31 years old. That's still plenty of gas in that tank.
Now I'll tell y'all this with Trey Hendrickson, just because of the Cowboys' history. If they sign Trey Hendrickson, it's probably going to be to maybe a 2-year, $30 million contract per year, 30+ million. But if they do sign him, that marks a change, man. Because if you think about this, and I've often said this before, Cowboys have not signed a top free agent since a top 10 free agent since 2012 with Brandon Carr. That's a long time, y'all. That's been that's 14 years. So if they do sign him, and Big Time has said this before, we're going to find out the Joneses changed this offseason. Yeah. If they sign him, that marks a change in philosophy, man, because they just do not. And I can tell you why they don't like doing it. They don't like getting in the bidding wars.
No,
they do not like getting. They don't like getting.
They already know they're not going to pay. They have a certain price.
That's right.
In their mind, and they're not going past it. Right. So, I mean, that's why I say it depends on what the bidding war is.
Yeah,
and I'm quite sure somebody going to outbid the Cowboys. I said I want them, but I'm smart enough to know that somebody's going to overpay.
Correct.
For this dude. Yeah. Somebody's going to overpay for Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah,
it's just no question about that.
And Big Time, when you say that, I want people to realize this. Overpaying is not bad, right? No, it's not bad. If you really need it, and that's what you need a defensive end, and that's where you're suffering at, and that's been a hole in your defense, and you go overpay for it.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. People think like, oh, you didn't get a good deal. It's not about getting good deals. It's about winning Super Bowls.
There you go.
And so that's why we talked about the Dodgers. They just won 2 back-to-back World Series and still signed the best free agent available.
Almost
crazy. Yeah. And so, but what they're trying to do, they're not trying to balance their books. They're trying to make them move on a trophy shelf.
They're trying to win.
They're trying to win, baby. That's what it's about. It ain't about. So if you get it and then you overpay for them and y'all win, who cares?
Who cares?
Nobody cares about that.
What Tampa Bay and the Rams do a couple years ago? They ain't care about no mortgage. Talking about the future picks and all that. Man, they said we trying to win right now.
Yeah,
this year. And we'll do whatever we got to do to win. And they won. And what you think the city of Tampa want? That banner? Or we're talking about, we ain't got no picks in 2 years.
And Big Time, it's so apropos that you was talking about baseball earlier. That's what George Steinbrenner did. He didn't care.
He didn't care.
He just went. It doesn't matter who was out there. He just went and got them. And he just winning championships.
Yeah. And it's crazy because really, Jerry could be like that, right? Like he could just be like, man, I'm going to get the best player. See, I don't know how we got the owner that has all the power and the ability. He's the only GM that can go and decide whatever he wants, to write whatever check he wants for whatever player. But he's the opposite of that. He's trying to do this thing on a budget.
B-Bird, we had a San Diego Chargers owner.
Yeah.
That's what we have. We had a San Diego Chargers owner. Yeah. That's what we have.
Wow.
That's what we got.
Gentlemen, I don't know. We got hit with the breaking news. I think
that was good though. That was good.
We got a lot more to talk about, but I don't think we're gonna make it. I don't know if y'all guys, unless y'all got one more or whatever, but I'm done to be honest.
We good.
Yeah, we gonna pick up some of this stuff next time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We didn't get your take on Dak and Pickett. I should even.
Dak was very unprofessional today.
Say it again.
Dak was very unprofessional today.
You got that right. Go ahead, y'all. I'll go it off. Listen, appreciate all you guys. I'm Big Time, of course. Most of y'all know the Big Time Show. Follow me here wherever you're watching me from. For those that do not follow me, go ahead and click the Big Time Show on YouTube, Facebook as well. Follow me there. If you're on YouTube, of course, subscribe. It's all there for you. The Big Time Show, there it is. As always, man, listen, we got plenty more material to talk about. We just couldn't get to it thanks to this breaking news. But it's always a pleasure. It's always fun to be with the brothers. And as always, we hit it out the park again. So I appreciate you hanging with B-Bird and Cowboy Joe. And our intention is, of course, is to be no, man, I ain't ready to fall asleep. Just be strong. I'm good. We don't usually go this long, but we OGs. We kind of older, but no, we read this out. We kind of gone by now, but our intention is to be with you guys Friday. Yeah. And if not, y'all just stay tuned. So we'll be with you guys soon. Appreciate all y'all
next Friday, so I'll be ready to go.
All right, guys, this was a good one.
Hey,
all your final words, Joe.
So let me go. I didn't know we was doing final words. So hey, let me be professional. So follow. So my son and I have a channel. It's called Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talk. So you can find us on YouTube. There, I do a show with my son. We'll probably be on tomorrow night, my son and I. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Cowboy Joe 64. So yeah, just go and man, this show right here we did tonight. Y'all should go to me and B-Birds and Big Time Show. Get us some new subscribers. It doesn't cost anything. So go ahead and sign up for it, subscribe to our shows and follow us. And once again, guys, I think we getting better and better with our show. This might have been our best one we had. So I always look forward to being on with you guys. And appreciate it.
Hey, so I'm B-Bird Cowboy, man. I'm on X, Twitter, whatever it is, and I'm on YouTube. And I got my son them got me on this on TikTok too. I just don't know how to hook it up. Also, too, I need to stay off TikTok. I've been ordering stuff all the time on that thing. I got stuff coming to my house every day, man, for TikTok. That stuff be looking. I say, oh, that's interesting. Let me buy that. But yeah, so y'all hook me up on hook up with me on X. B-Bird Cowboys also, man. I'm gonna be having some other stuff coming out. I'm on vacation now, so I have a little bit of time to put some stuff out. Breaking news. Hey, man, y'all listen to Fast Cash, man. Those guys do well. Jules, the Cowboy Joe. I love listening to those guys. They the first guys people that had me on. Big Time Show, man. I texted him the other day on the drive. He kills it on the drive, man. And then he actually had the nerve to follow it up with a show that night. He killed it again. Stood 10 toes down on something. I was with you, man. But hey, I appreciate it because man, y'all two guys are some of the guys I love listening to. So y'all keep putting out great content, man. And if anybody can follow me, man, I definitely appreciate it. I kind of hit a point of stagnation on my YouTube subscribers. So if y'all come in, man, show me a little bit of love, I definitely appreciate it. But that's not y'all's fault. That's my fault because I need to put out more stuff. So this week I am going to put out some more stuff and just kind of put out some things that I think about and just see where we're going to go with this Cowboy Nation. That's it for me.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for hanging with us. We hope that we did okay. If we didn't, we'll try it again next week. And until then, this has been the one and only. This has been the Cowboys OG Podcast. We'll see you.
All right.
Hey, take care,
Cowboys
guys.
out.